Okay, I'm going to start the KT for this quarterly closing that's required for current portion and non-current portion for the loans, the long-term loan, or we call it as midterm loan for EAP Vietnam. Okay, so this one has been done by Charles, but of course
Terry, Angie, are you sharing screen on anything?
Yeah, I'm going to share. Yeah. Just wait for a while. Okay, so this one I'm not too sure why only Vietnam, probably because Vietnam it has this midterm loan or long-term loan with banks so far for emerging country. Okay, so this has been done by Derek, and during our time we follow through the same methodology. So for every quarter, as far as we understand, Charles has to post something regarding the term loan kind of adjustment, things like that for accrual. Okay, so I'm going to showcase to the team that the one that we did for Q4 2025 during this month submission. So knowing, I think I need to inform that for EAP Vietnam, it has this. It used to have this few midterm loans. If you can see my screen here, it has these three. 300 billion, 130 billion, and 350 billion. However, these two loans all have been repaid. Okay, so now only left this one. So if you can see here, the angle is actually to know what is the current portion, and the long-term portion as well. Sorry, more than a non-current portion for the loans outstanding as at the reporting. So for Q4, as a Q4, these two loans already repaid, so there's nothing here. Usually what I do is actually I copy paste the same table, but of course the data it has to be adjusted. First of all, these two are no longer applicable. You can just ignore it, even this one. Okay, so for the 300 billion loans, we have this original term loan amount. So when it comes to this paid, these are the yellow one. We have to ensure that it's updated according the reporting period. So how I did is actually, if you can see this loan file, it's the same loan file. We have this 350 billion Vietnam dong loans here. Okay, what I've been doing is that because I always have to ensure that I have this data as at the period. So I copy paste and then I'll just adjust it to Q4 2025 for my last reporting, right? So if you can see here, I have to ensure that how much is the total has been paid from the beginning until the last reporting period. So here I've linked up the formula already. So of which you can see here D55 to D59 here, Q4 here. So these are the amount that have been paid. I think Charles is quite familiar with this repayment schedule. So you can see here 82 billion. Okay. So this one actually is a balance that usually original amount and then minus the one that have been paid. So these are outstanding. So this one you can actually cross-check with the repayment schedule. You see, this is outstanding as at the period. So it matches the record. So current portion meaning from the reporting date, December, this is December 2025, what is the 12 months commitment payable of LV under this loan? So actually I've linked up the link as well to the table. So this is for the next 4 installments here. That means January 2026 until December 2026. What are the amount? So this one you can follow through the formula, and this is a total 82. So here you can see it's all linked up already. Current portion is 82 billion plus, and then the remaining is actually 185 billion. Yeah, so this is what we have completed for the next action of BSC Treasury at Charles side. And that's it. if you can see here, if you lump this amount, it is also the total of 267 billion here. Okay, that's all for this part. Any questions? No questions, then I will just proceed with the next one. So, is that okay? Yeah, let me know. Okay, so I will stop sharing here. Do you want to continue with this recording or you want to pause here?
Just continue.
Continue, yeah? Okay, let's wait for a while. Okay, the next one is actually, I'm not sharing my screen yet because I need to ensure everyone is clear with the today's session now. So for loans, we have 5 countries here: Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Vietnam. Okay, so I will start with Thailand and Philippines. Why? Because on the 29th December, we have already covered the cash management portion for these 2 countries. So it's better for me to start with that first. Just wait for a while. So Thailand. So for Thailand, this is also under the shareholder. So for Thailand, actually, we have two banks for loans as of now. Okay, so I've put the link here for the loans file. So this is the file that Victoria has been using, or Zcop used to do it. So if you can see here, BNP loans here, and then Citibank loans here. But of course, we have this, and so happen to now it's January. So we have listed out all the loans outstanding, if applicable. But first of all, let me go through this BNP. BNP actually it has this used to have this drawdown. However, we already repaid on the 4th June to BNP already. So there's no outstanding. As for Citibank loan is quite active because, frankly speaking, 2 banks loans actually they are the same loan interest rate. But why we have been using Citibank? Because a lot of payments, because Citibank is also the payment bank for ALT. It is quite convenient that once we draw down, then the bank would just credit the loans amount or loan proceeds to the bank without us transfer from one bank to the other bank, you see. So this is the loans that we have been capturing here. Okay, so for if you want to have a look of the outstanding so far, only the one that we have is Citibank. Okay, the day we have just drawn down 50 million here Thai baht. So it has increased. The total is actually 439 million outstanding as of today. Yeah, Victoria.
Is your screen moving or which screen you are sharing? Because I'm seeing the share drive only.
Okay, sorry, I thought
Not the file.
Okay, let me go to here. So this is a file. So this is a file. We have this BNP and Citibank here. Okay, so we have this BNP loan. What has been drawn for record. So for Citibank, we have this as well. As I mentioned, Citibank is very active because it's more convenient for us to draw down from them. But always check the interest rate from these 2 banks. But as far as we understand, BNP loan interest rate and also Citibank is the same for now. So far, the outstanding that you have with Citibank is 439 million. So so this is the documents that we have here. Yes.
Angie, could you clarify? You mentioned the rate between Citi and BNP is the same, but then just now the files I saw the rate is changed.
Ashraf, for all these loans, right, the time of period is different, you see. You have to see this one. So this is the 4th June. So this is the it's really January 2026. It's really reduced the rate. When you compare the loan, you have to always compare on the same day or loan activities. Different period, they may change the different interest rate rating. Okay. So I think what you can do is actually when you do the drawdown, you can drop a line to BNP to check what's the latest interest rate. All right. So this was Citibank. Let me move on.
The rate
Yes.
you're referring, the rate is coming from, is a central bank rate or is the bank quoted rate? If you say
First bank is-
both is the same.
Yeah, first of all, probably let me go through here first. I'll compare here first. This rate is actually the bank's final rate, all-in rate. This is the bank's all-in. You have to understand the rate for actually Thailand loan is actually based on the policy rate as well. So this one, I think this one you guys have to understand first. When I say same rate, if you look at the period here, June, 2%. This one 2%. Can you see this? You have to look at this period as I mentioned here. Now, of course, it's different because over the time, the central bank's rate is really reduced. This is a final rate from the bank. This one has to come with the experience or over the time when you do this, then you will know. Okay. So first of all, I go through this Citibank first because this is a real case. Easy for you guys. So first of all, when you want to come to this drawdown, you have to see, as I mentioned, actually our KT is supposed to be cash management together with the loan activities. But since we have covered the cash management today, so how do you know that you need the drawdown or not? That is when you have this cash management file. Usually you have to see this go out a bit because it's all related. Cash management file here. And you have all this EAP, payroll, all this LNet payment. So it is always based on how much you are short based on this this position here. That's where you guys have been updating the opening balances or things like that. Okay. So once you have so this is the position. Let me show you. As you can see here, actually, this has increased, right? I mean, sorry, the bank balance was higher, but we also have drawn down this one recently. The one that I showed you show this now, 15 million. I'm not too sure whether it's really updated. You see, 50 loan in. Why I draw down here is because I know that based on AP's team, when they send out the payment schedule, whatever, we know that actually there's a big bulk payment. Okay, as I mentioned, you have to check the timing because when it comes to dealing with loans, you have to see when your actual date for the payment to be debited from the bank account. So this is how we manage the thing here. So when you think that you need to draw down, because the time, real case, on the 6th of Jan or 5th, I remember it's really 5th of Jan. I think it should be 5th. We know that actually there's a payment to be out from here, but the bank balance is quite low. So I will make a decision that how much to draw down. So the decision is actually 15 million that we did with Citibank. Okay, so so I need to go back to the loan file. So what we do is actually I've saved a copy of the drawdown email and also repayment email. So let's go to this drawdown email. So here's one example, yeah. So 28 November. So I inform the bank that how much I need to draw. What they do is actually the loan documents actually initiated by Citibank themselves. You do not need to do anything about the loan documents preparation. So this is the contact name that you can follow through and CC to the rest of the people. because local affiliates are very important because they are the authorized signatories as well. Okay, so this Citibank team, they will reply to say that, oh, okay, I mean, they are confirming this rate. Okay, so but this is the 01 November. Recently, the Thailand Central Bank has reduced the interest rate again. So they will mention that what to do. Okay, usually we will get Chacha, Kun Chacha, and K Amon to sign. They know, the bank know about this because they have been familiar with the bank mandate. Last time Michelle has he used to sign because he's the MD, he's the authorizer, but because his DocuSign issue still persists, so we proceeded to get Chacha, Kun Chacha, and Amon to sign. Usually Chacha will reply now, but do follow up with Ken Amon if you know, if he's in the meeting or things like that, because for loan drawdown there's also a bank's cutoff time as well. Usually Malaysia time or Thailand, Malaysia time and Thailand time is just one hour apart. Before 4, Malaysia time is sufficient for the commission. So I've put in the sample of the email for the drawdown. Okay, so repayment. When drawdown, when repayment, right? So repayment, usually what we do is that from the past experience, because in between there's a AP payment, payroll, LNet, you know, all these things, right? Of course, bear in mind that this cholesterol collection will come in because it is a very big amount. I will wait for that. Usually it's during the payroll week, 20 something, the collection will come in. I'll wait for that. Only I do the repayment. Usually end of the day, end of the month, only I do repayment all at a go. Why? Because one thing is because Citibank, when I want to repay the loans, right? It is very immediate. The bank, I just need to inform the bank as usual. Okay, see, repay 50 million. And the bank will confirm. Okay, repay how much, and then outstanding loan will become how much. They will do the DocuSign. So it's very fast that because it's all via DocuSign, Chacha and Amon is they are very fast in signing all these things. That. So this is for the case of loans for Thailand with Citibank. Okay, I've put in the sample here. So here I put in this important notes as well. DocuSign can be done by Citibank. Okay, I put in a interest rate. This one I've already shared this information to Zikot and Ashraf before, in case that you guys want to know all this. But nonetheless, if you have any questions regarding the loan, you can always drop a line to this banker. So this is a part for Citibank. I'm going to proceed to share with you guys on the BNP. Since I'm in this one, right, I just want to highlight that for loan with BNP, it has to be write-in signing. The BNP in Thailand actually that does not allow this DocuSign, although we have asked for this. Okay. So for BNP, the process with the bank, yes.
Angie, so the DocuSign, is it legal or not legal in the country-wise?
In the country, of course, yes, legal in Thailand. But it depends, again, another layer is that not every bank that can accept this. Same goes to Philippines as well. Later, I'll cover that part. So it is very pretty much, first of all, country allow or not? Yes, Thailand, yes. Otherwise, Citibank wouldn't have done so. Okay. Okay, so next is actually BNP. So it's the same thing. I've shared the link for the loan letter attachment here. Sorry. It's all saved in this folder because for BNP, we, as in our side, has to prepare the documentation. Okay. So this is a bit troublesome. So I've shared with you, for example, okay. But this is quite long because long time we never draw down from BNP already. Since when it comes to interest rate, it's the same. Administrative work are more troublesome. We still prefer Citibank. So all this actually we drop a line to to the bank on how we want to draw down or want to repay. Okay. So usually once I prepare the letter, I will get them to, I'll email to the bank for the draft to ensure that the draft is okay. So when it comes to BNP, this is just to walk through as well. For BNP, right, they have this rollover letter to be prepared as well. It is a quarterly interest payment. So it depends on when your loan is drawn down. For example, if you draw down today, so your interest due will be 3 months later. The date, which date, it is better to confirm with the bank, because sometimes the calculation of the date, whether it falls on the weekend or public holiday. So this one, when it comes to drawdown, it is better for you guys to confirm with the bank the actual date for you, for your record or for your interest accrual or whatsoever. So I put the link here. Important notes here as well. Same as what I showed you just now, because I copy paste the same. Okay. So when it comes to wet-ink signature, I always liaise with the local affiliates, Judy Papa, as a contact point. She will arrange the wet-ink signature with Kun Cha and the necessary person, Michelle or whatsoever. Okay. Okay, so I put all the links here, of which you can go through the files, signed documents here as well. So just one more thing that I need to highlight, that in Thailand, because these loans, right, for LT actually is very driven by, it is the basis is actually based on this policy rate. So whenever there's a policy rate change, right, usually BNP will ask us to change this document, the loan letter, because they want our letter is reflecting the latest interest rate all time. Clear? Okay, so this is for Thailand loans with BNP and Citibank. Anything so far?
Angie,
Yeah.
do you have when you save the loan agreement?
Actually, this loan agreement is actually, I would say that it's more on a corporate finance purview. We can share with you, let me share with the corporate finance team as a whole, because we also have other loans as well, right? Okay. We try not to mix up. Let me walk through this one first, but we understand, but nonetheless, you go through these documents for the drawdown because there's an interest rate specified there as well.
Okay. Then how about the facilities? How much we can draw?
How much we can do? I'm not too sure the Irish audits can see. Irish? No, sorry, the audit system, any system can see the outstanding.
Oh, you mean Iris? I'm not sure. I need to ask corporate finance team.
This one we come back to you, can Ashraf, because there's a mixture of like a bank guarantee is actually done by corporate finance. So for the overview of the total of facility, actually we come back to you on this.
No, but then like for you, kan you tak tahu, sorry, how much you are able to draw?
Yeah, we have that. We have that. It's just that we try to have this overall view, because we know that this one. Okay, let me see this one outstanding. I think maybe I can put a note here for the limits. Okay, see, sorry. Maybe I can put the total limits that can be drawn from here. I mean, in this folder. They're easy for you guys to capture. But I just want to emphasize that even we have these limits, usually banking facility is a total limit, but it can be utilized for short-term loan. It can be utilized for bank guarantee, things like that. For bank guarantee, I do not have this overview because it's under corporate finance. You understand what I mean? Because it's really split by different sub-team to do it. I can put a total limit here as the latest one. Okay, for easy reference. Yes.
And who is the corporate finance that can give us the information?
I don't know, let me check first, can wait. Because I think you guys want to have this overall limits, right?
Yeah,
Usually JC
we're
side
trying to get all the data, right? So
Mm,
as much as possible, we want to cover everything so that
yes, yes,
when audit comes, we are able to answer, and then we have all the information.
sure, can.
Thank you.
All right, this one will come back to you. Okay. So I think we have covered the Thailand one. Yes.
Angie, next question. Those banks, Citibanks, for Thailand, right? Do they have OD facility?
Yes, for Thailand, with Citibank, yes, OD for 30 million Thai baht.
30.
30, yes.
Okay.
But it is not advised to use OD if possible, because it depends on the affiliates. Like for Indonesia, Christine, she's okay with that. For Thailand, Kunchacha, they are not really fancy with that. They want us to manage because the OD pricing is more expensive than this one, right? And some more the third week or 20 something that week, actually cholesterol collection can be up to 90 million, or even sometimes lowest also 60 or 70 million. So it is something like a manageable for the collection, you see, and you shouldn't be using OD. Of course, when it comes to like very little shortfall, I think you can just heads up to her that we will have this OD facility used while waiting for the collection to come in the next day, because it's not so perfect, right? Like you draw that exactly the same or whatever, or because of timing. So for OD, actually, yes, we have covered in Citibank, 30 million.
Okay. Angie, any requirement to speak OPEX or CAPEX kind of loan?
Sorry, I can't hear you. Zipe, is that?
Yeah, is there any requirement that when doing the drawdown loan need to consider whether it's OPEX or CAPEX or not?
Okay, for all these short-term loan, for sure, it is a working capital, which is OPEX. Working capital. It is not for CAPEX one.
So meaning currently all this while when you were drawing down the loan that for sure all those are OPEX related. If let's say CAPEX related, meaning would there be a separate process on what kind of loan that need to be drawn down, or is those
Okay,
kind of
for CAPEX for sure it's not under this kind of loans. Like draw down, repay. It will not be under this one. Okay. If it is CAPEX, there will be a dedicated, either we call it as a term loan. Usually, I think my understanding is from the Alpha as a first priority, but this one it will be like it is very pretty much like, for example, Malaysia, IFKM, there is long-term loan support. You see, so this one for Thailand, for sure, all this you can see in and out because of what your AP payment, your payroll, all this for sure is OPEX, working capital. When it comes to CAPEX, for sure, it's different loans already. It cannot be used under this kind.
Okay, because I'm not too sure by when we will receive the information regarding the CAPEX, but meaning usually when you see the payment proposal, you will assume that everything is OPEX. That the payment proposal is nothing related to CAPEX lah.
No, yeah. For CAPEX, it is very dedicated one. It is a special arrangement, I can't tell here, but what I can share with you is that when it comes to CAPEX loans for CAPEX, there will be a different communication, and it will be very clear that this is for CAPEX drawdown.
Sorry, Angie, just to clarify. So when the AP send the payment request, are they segregate what is OPEX or what is CAPEX?
No, because all this while for Thailand, during our time, since there after direct, right, our time, Thailand case to case, Thailand only for working capital OPEX for sure. CAPEX, something to do with CAPEX, I will walk you through later for Vietnam case. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Angie, just now you mentioned in a month there normally on the last week there is upcoming huge collection, right?
Yeah, correct.
You get that information from who?
Urada collection team. I can ping you guys on this thing. Urada, Chacha and Urada, actually we work very close because of the timing. Sometimes it's like the date is very important because so happened that week, right? It is very critical for a lot of payments. Is it sometimes it's actually like one or 2 days of payment out first, then collection only come in the next day, that kind of thing. So collection person is actually
So normally they will share the information to you, or you go and find.
I think now it's quite consistent already. Like she will just inform us automatically actually. Okay, last time we went to look out for them, then slowly they have been like familiar with the process already. I'll just drop an email to her that loop you guys in for this collection.
Okay, all right.
Shall we move on? Because today we have another 4 countries to cover, is it?
Yeah. Victoria, any question from you? Inni?
But I think it's
I
if
no
you guys,
question.
sorry.
I mean, so far, so good.
Okay. Okay, great. So I'll move on. Philippines. Let me go back to here a bit before I start the loans. As what we cover cash management here. All these are the requirements for cash management, right? So there are 2 parts of it for loans. So the cash management will cover on the 29 short term. Okay, we actually for Philippines there are 2 parts. One is with the external loans with banks. The other one is interco loans between LP and L plus. Okay, first of all, before I go further, how do I know whether there's a shortfall or not? Of course, as I mentioned, the cash management file is very important. We have been using that for this kind of shortfall. Because this is December folder, right? I mean, the KT was in December. So let me open back this one. This is a template. Whenever I see shortfall before all this LNet unpaid, right, arrangement, I always see how much that it is short here or here. Okay. So if you can foresee that there's a requirements for funding that you need to draw down. So this is how I check here. I usually check with 2 banks, external banks. Okay. Philippines, there are two banks for loans. One is Citibank, the other one is MUFG. Okay, so for what we call it, for funding, usually I will write to when I feel like I want to draw down because of the shortfall, because of not to say that I feel it's based on all the data here. So I will write to Abigail to tell her that I would like to draw down. Actually, for Thailand, again, I think affiliates to another affiliate is different. For Thailand, Chacha leave it to us to manage. But of course, usually I give a heads up to her as well. Okay, she will question why we need to draw down so much. I think during the month of dividend or something like that, or there's some months. So always go back to the local affiliate as a heads up. I leave it to you guys how to manage. But for Philippines, because we have been using an email to her. So what I do is actually we will write to Abigail to tell her that we'll draw down to her to how much under LP or L plus. Okay, so let me share this file. I think Victoria is very familiar with this file. So first of all, this file actually have this facility limits. Okay, for Citibank, there's this much, 2.35 million peso. This is shared by LP and L plus always. MUFG this much, 120 million peso. This one actually depends on the total, how much they will use. But bear in mind that this facility limits also can be used for bank guarantee issuance. Okay. Because this information is already here since Derek's time, so I'm sharing this with you. Okay. So to decide LP to draw down or L plus to draw down, it depends on your cash management file that we have been using. But recently, we do not draw so much is because there's a lot of LNAP payment unpaid yet, right? So, but nonetheless, we try to manage as well on this rollover or whatsoever. So when it comes to this email, we will email to communication. We will email to Abigail, whether it is rollover or whatever. I will print screen snapshot onto her. That this file is actually the cash management file. So we will give a heads up to her that this coming loan due, whatever, and how much. Our proposal usually, please take note here that usually we will not roll more than 3 months as required by Abigail. Last time we used to roll over up to 6 months, but after some time she thought that it shouldn't be rolled over for so long. So I'll blast out this email to her, CC to her team as well. Then you give proposal to her. You want to roll over for how much? If you think that there's any excess cash that you can repay, you can also tell her your proposal. You see, if you can see here, L plus I propose 50 million to be repaid, roll over 325 million only. LP due this date, I'll roll over the whole thing. But I think maybe she's very busy. She always did not reply me. But I will just tell her that since we do not receive your comment, so we just proceed with this one. Because I couldn't wait. There's a cutoff time. The bank usually we need 2 working days in advance to do all this confirmation one. And furthermore, if you want to say 50 million repayment, right, you need to arrange your funding, of which we transfer from Citibank to MFG, if there's any. But this case is actually settled in Citibank. I'm just sharing with you some processes that will need, the lead time to prepare. So internally here, you guys are for Philippines. There's a lot of loans, but for this round, because I thought of easy for you guys, I've combined different tranches of loans to be due on the same day in 2026. You can see here. So these 2 tabs is a loans file for LP and L plus as monitoring. The one that highlighted in orange is the outstanding one. So for LP, the February. Okay, with Citibank, actually, we also make it fall on the same day. Okay, so L plus, we also make it 3rd February so that easy to communicate with the bank. This one combined as well. Combined means I'll make it due on the same date so that when it comes to 3rd February, you guys just need to recognize this date. So this amount, instead of scattered everywhere, a lot of dates also got loan due. So this is Citibank's one. Okay, so this LP and L plus process with so as I mentioned, there are 2 banks for the loan drawdown. What we do is that we will have to hold on. Okay, let me share with you the loan rollover. Okay, what we do is actually okay, L plus. So L plus, okay, when it comes to rollover or drawdown, always drop an email to MFG and Citibank for indicative quotes, because usually we will ask 1 to 6 months, what's the interest rate, latest one, because their rate may be changed. Actually, their rate actually changing every day. It depends on how the fluctuation is. So you email to the bank, MFG and Citibank for quotes, and tell them what's the indicative amount that you want to draw down. Okay, not to confirm, but check first. So when they come back to you, you will have to decide if you want to plan to draw down for this 50 million or 20 million. So after provided you are cleared with Abigail already, otherwise If you do it yourself, then later when it comes to signing, Abigail will ask you why we need to now. Yeah, got. No, that's why I need to share with you. These two banks actually do not have any forms that we need to prepare, all prepared by MUFG and Citibank. So in this folder, we have the sign folder, sorry. I have it here. Just a minute. Oh yeah, I have the file. I think I later I put it in here. Yeah, I will share with you. But the file that we have is actually all signed files here already. For sure, we do have that. It's actually in my cash management file. I will put one.
Actually, the files that you put in, other than the signed PDF, can you put in the soft copy as well?
No, we do not have the soft copy. I don't save the soft copy because it is via DocuSign, all these things, you see. It's a lot of work for me. I have those email. These two banks, actually, they will initiate the documents, so don't worry about that.
That was a general statement. So my meaning is that you have all the PDF signed samples.
Yes. We do have that. It's just that I have to save it in cash management file.
Right. So can you just put in the soft copy? My meaning of soft copy means editable.
Yeah. No, it's already the signed copy here, Kevin. I will put in here for the documents because usually there should be a. I think I forgot to put this one. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Can. But it's not
You
the.
understand what I mean, right? The editable ones.
I do not have the editable one. It's from the bank.
Yeah. That copy is the editable one, right? So the bank send you the copy. That's the one that you can edit. I don't know if we need change information, names, dates, whatever.
No, we don't do this one because if we want to have the bank to anything to change in the form, we get the bank to change one. You get what I mean?
Oh, okay.
For this case, because that's what I mentioned here upfront to you guys, case to case, affiliates to affiliates, and country by country.
Okay.
This one, what I can provide is actually the signed one. I have that. Yeah.
Okay. So the ones that only sign one, I will assume that only the bank can change the details. The ones with the editable documents, I will assume that we can do it ourselves. Right.
Why do you need to do it yourself? The bank will do to cover everything.
Because it's case to case, bank to bank, ma.
Oh, yeah, for those that we need to prepare, for example, Thailand's one, I have attached the link already.
Okay, yeah, that's what I mean. Okay, can no problem.
For sure, you need that because I shared the link for Thailand. This one, I think it's already pasted in somewhere else. Okay, I'll put in the sign folder for Philippines here. Okay, just a moment. I put the important notes here as well. As I mentioned, Citibank actually is the bank who initiate DocuSign. And we actually is the bank to provide the loan forms that will fill in everything after the confirmation is made. That you want to draw down when and you when, and then can confirm everything in email. Then they will initiate these forms with all the details. What you need to do is that after they send to you, you have to have a look at the forms. Okay. So wetting again, DocuSign is very straightforward. The bank will initiate to, usually is to Ken and Abigail. For wetting, you will have to liaise with Lisa, the assistant of the local team here, to help. She knows the process. Okay. So MUFG, let me cross this one first. I want to highlight that when it comes to repayment, if you have anything or interest amount settlement in MUFG, you will have to prepare this funds arrangement. I think Victoria is very familiar with this one, right? This one is because we need to ensure the funding is available. Otherwise, there's a problem on the funding. Even if it's just an interest of payment, 1 million peso, if your account is very little, because usually we don't maintain a lot of cash there because it's just for loan purpose so far or bank guarantee only. Okay, So you guys have to manage this funds availability before the due date. And as I mentioned in the cash management KT, this kind of transfer is actually not via the real-time transfer. It is via the payment method called PesoNet in Philippines. This will take at least 2 working days to reach out to be received by the bank, the recipient bank. Okay. This one we are covered. Yeah, as I mentioned, sorry, I jump a bit now because there's few notes here. So ensure you email to local finance or drawdown or roll over a settlement plan first. This one, again, DocuSign, and this is MUFG for wedding. Maintenance file is actually here. Whenever you guys have completed the thing, the bank has confirmed everything or signed, save the signed documents into the link that I'm going to share later. And this one, you guys have to update. The way we update here is actually is continuous. You can modify this template or whatever, but always have the outstanding, because all these ones is as at when, right? So this is the method for now. Only those item marked in orange that is outstanding for each of the entity with which bank whatsoever here. Those that is not highlighted, that means it's already static. You can see the link here. Okay, so this is for the external banks loan drawdown repayment rule. Always refer to here because there's a multiple tranches of loans. You guys have to plan ahead because Philippines one, I think they have this concern on the cash position always, and probably Abigail has a lot of concern or comments here. Okay, question before I go for the interco. Yeah.
Angie, just now on the facility, is it a norm you combine both LP and L plus? I thought LP should have LP, L plus have.
So this is an interchangeability. So that means LP and L plus can use the line as per the terms and conditions. It's really under the agreement. It is not the norm or not norm. So it depends on the agreement about how this credit facility is set up for. So for this case, actually LP and L plus can use this limit together anytime.
Okay. So both CT and MUFG is like that, huh?
Yeah, they can together. It's together. That's why it's very flexible. It's not limited to like LP can use only like 100 million, not that. It can be any amount. You just treat them as like a one big entity. They can use the amount, the limits anytime, any amount. There's no restriction. So long as the combination of the loans and from these two entities is not exceeding this credit facility. Same goes to MUFG as well. Okay, I proceed to the next one.
And same question. So Philippines also don't have capex OPEX requirement to.
No, so this is
correct.
capex so fund. There's nothing. This is all working capital.
And then about OD facility.
In Philippines, OD facility is not allowed at all because of the law.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Okay, next is actually the interco. As I mentioned, LP and L plus, there's interco arrangement under them. Okay, what I'm going to share is that what has been handed over from direct to us during this KT. Okay. So as we mentioned here, this file, the loan maintenance file. Just now we have showcased to you that we bank, right? All this is we bank. This L plus. This is bank energy here. Citibank here. There's another portion actually, this is in the core. How you read this file is actually bank is a lender or in the company. This borrower. As you can see here, LP is the lender, borrower is the L plus. It's L plus, okay? So over the time, we have cleared quite a fair bit of interco from L plus to LP already. So as at now, okay, we have this 109 million and 9 million owing from L plus to LP. And this interco actually is every 3 quarters, it's on a quarterly basis for the interest charge. And how it does is actually, because it's not via bank, right? It's interco, right? Okay, for example, it's 19. Okay, this is the outstanding, all right? So let me showcase this one to you. 23rd December, we have this due mark, right? So we roll over. Of course, you can repay if L plus has the cash, right? Has any cash. You want to make it like a rounding of 100 million, also can. It's up to you on the cash position, monetary. But if it's not, you will have to roll over to another 3 months. Yeah, correct. 3 months here, 109. So this rate actually, how do you get? It's actually via this central bank of Philippines. They call it as lending rate. This is already the January 2026, right? But the one that I shared is actually the December. Let me check. I think there might be different link for December. What you can see here is actually January rate, of which this is the rate from the Bank Negara, like central bank in Malaysia, Bank Negara, but this is a government central bank in Philippines. And this announcement of this, what you call it, overnight lending facility rate, OLF, of which this is the basis that LP and L plus use for the benchmark of the interest rate in the core. So for example, 23rd December, the time when I open the link, but this is really a refresh one. Even I follow through the same link. Later I'll share the December if can. Okay. So it has this due, right? 23rd December. So actually the time when I checked the website, the link is now, it shows 5%. So 5%, I will just update here. Here, roll over. Yeah. Okay. So this is how we manage the roll over here. Yeah.
Angie, question. So, I just want to understand. You decide to roll over. So, is there any like a written email or agreement being signed that you roll over to 3 months time?
There's an interco loan agreement. This one later, let me put it inside the link. There's an interco loan agreement. Okay.
But then my question is more on everything you decide by yourself.
Okay, that's the thing. It's a very good question because for interco, I think it's an intercompany, right? So far, I think the understanding from Abigail over the time, right, is actually we decide ourselves. Actually, the external also decide ourselves. It's just that we check with her because there's more critical as in the external parties, right? So this one we decide ourselves as well. But it's just that you have to ensure that this is monitored accordingly. You
Yeah,
can repeat.
Okay, for example, you decide to roll over for the next 3 months.
Mm.
But then on this process, right, it's like is there nothing like as simple as an email being sent out to the affiliate?
Okay,
Oh.
frankly speaking, we asked this question to Derek as well, but apparently it is just via this kind of arrangement because the embedded document will say that it is via the intercolon agreement. Okay, so rollover actually at for future, because this is what we have been KT by Derek to us, right? So this has been the case where we checked, we update here. You see?
Okay,
Yeah.
so my next question, like for example, row 113, okay, the one, the new loan, the new loan, row 113, okay. So
This one is a totally a new drawdown, I'll say.
okay.
You
So
go down.
is there any black and white written?
Yeah. Yes. Okay, that's my next one. Okay. So usually how we do is that you see also this is Kitty from Derek. Okay. It has been supported with this kind of this form. Whenever there's this requirement of loan drawdown LP from LP, we will just raise this one. Okay, let me walk through these forms because this form is actually repayment first. Repayment first. So whenever our plus have this cash, right, I would say cash, or when I see LP actually they need some money, you can either via the external loans or internal. Internal is faster because it's intercompany, just like a normal fund transfer, right? So this is a link that I put in the KT folder, of which that time on the 12th September, I wanted to have this L plus to repay to LP. For 20 million here. For 20 million here. So this has been the case where, again, this is from Derek, right? So we just put a name here and proceed with the necessary email to BSC. Okay. So you see, this is sample of email to your side. Request being 20 million interco repayment from LPS to LP. Okay. So this is a case where
So that fund transfer form is so-called the loan agreement.
I don't know because this is the case where Derek has been using it, is it? Yeah. This one I think you guys may look at that for future. If there's anything can be improvised or should be aligned with interco loan agreement. But I'm going to what I'm showing case to you is that the status quo processes here for this KT. Okay, so we email to your team, then raise ticket and look at affiliates, approve it. So once done, then the necessary funds transfer will be go through as a normal one. So what we do here is actually after it's done, then we just update here as a repayment here. And then balance is how much here? You see, 29 million here. So this is the outstanding here. Okay. In the colon form. Yeah, this is the count. This is a sample that I showcased to you just now in a PDF copy. But this is just for the purpose for this KT. Easy for you to refer. This one also, I put additional link into it here. It's the same as what I showcased to you for the central bank kind of link. Okay. Yeah. So we call it as Kevin, to match a little bit of this capacity file, right? We call it as cash pool funding domestic in the code for Philippines. Okay, so that's all for the Philippines loans related activities. But one more thing that I need to highlight is that every month end, okay, in Philippines actually, they call it, there's a tax related portion of which all the entities in Philippines has to pay, right? So for DST, for bank loans with LP or LPAS, actually, the bank will manage it, the calculation or submission for the necessary local regulation. But for Interco, because it doesn't go through banks, right? So who will do it? Then this EY tax agent who support LP and LPAS in this regard. So in this case, we have aligned with Abigail that every month end, we will send, not sharing this file because this file is a continuous. I will carve it out. For example, today is the last day of working day, right? So this is outstanding one. I'll copy out this outstanding to this affiliates. I've saved here. Every month end, I need to do this thing. The debt. How much is it? For example, 31st December, I'll have to share with them. It's the same file, but it's just I carve it out and send to them. Why? Because they need to calculate the interco loan portion for the DST, the tax-related calculation with EY. So in short, your site do not need to do anything much except for this thing. You carve it out, send this outstanding loans in discount folder, send to her, send to Abigail and team. So I've put in an email sample here. This one. So if there's an interco loan movement, you have to mention roll over from when to when, something like that. Okay. So usually this is how we deal with the team for their requirement. We don't deal with the EY team directly. Okay, that's all for the loan related.
Angie, just now
Yeah.
you shared that email, right? The email you can open back.
Outstanding, is that? The outstanding one, is that?
No, the email that you sent to EY.
Not EY. We sent it to Abigail only actually.
Okay, you sent to Abigail. Then after that, do you receive anything from Abigail or from EY?
No, they don't send to us. Actually, there's I think now currently they're still CC to us from EY, but we don't deal with them because we told Abigail that actually we shouldn't be dealing with the third party, you see. Because we got this information.
What kind of reply you received from EY?
No, nothing. Actually, nothing. As I mentioned, we don't deal with them. That's right.
So
We
that's why
just
you
send
said,
out this.
you received the CC from EY?
CC is not for action, right? CC is just a copy, right?
Yeah. Okay, just out of curiosity, what kind of
Oh, I can attach a copy to you if you want to. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a part of the KT here, so I thought of not.
So just to clarify, Angie, so the audit thing, it's directly contact with affiliates, right?
This is not audit. This is a tax related.
Okay, so
EY is a tax
tax.
agent.
So all the external party, let's say external party, from EY, so they contact with affiliates, and then affiliates ask what the necessary supporting document we can provide.
Correct. Yeah,
right?
that's right.
And then you reply that to affiliates, and then let affiliates to deal with the external.
So far, I only we don't deal with. Okay, this one only one way from us to Abigail. It just as so happened EY also CC to us because on the first email, all these things. By right, actually, I can ask them, no need to include us also can.
Okay.
That's where I'm coming from, Ashraf.
I just want to understand the end to end.
So
Because-
the PIC, the communication is affiliates to external.
Yeah, that one I clearly understand, Cherry. I just want to know, since you are sending out this, and then what is the final outcome of the email?
I can download a copy of it lah. Yes, for your eyes. But again, I want to emphasize here, end to end only up to here from Treasury in this regards. Okay.
The thing you share with me, the email.
Yeah, I will attach you. But I think I can share with you. I'll not to put here because otherwise you thought it's an end-to-end process, you know. Yeah. I'll forward that to you. So that's it for Philippines.
Sorry, Angie, a question. The interco loan, I saw you say there was a new drawdown, right? Actually, I mean, just out of curiosity, who requested for that new drawdown, or is it you that decided that it's okay, we need a new?
We decided.
Okay, then next question. Actually, why are we doing this interco loan rather than going through the bank loan? Just out of curiosity, what was the decision? What was the thinking behind that?
Because it is an interco, it is just like a fund transfer, you see, fund transfer from the same affiliates. It is easily managed. Yeah.
Because my train of thought is because since LP and L plus they are sharing the same credit facility limit with the bank.
I mean, you can go for external if you have enough time, as I mentioned just now in the very first place. When you deal with banks for loan drawdown rollover, you have to have a sufficient lead time. You have to at least two business days in advance before the drawdown date or rollover date. If you can manage that, no problem. Because after you confirm, you have to check with these two banks. It is optional to the team that you want to go for external or internal. You see? So dealing with external banks, first of all, you have to ensure Abigail is okay. Number two, you have to check which bank is lower. Number three, you have to ensure the documents are on time. The signed documents are on time. You see? So at the very minimal for now, I think because over the time, the outstanding from L plus to LP has reduced quite a lot. So for the loan drawdown, because I check what we call that, it is always L plus owing to LP. Sorry, interco L plus owing to LP most of the time now. So we usually draw down from bank because I think because of the volume, we can negotiate better with them and we have sufficient time with them for the drawdown. Yeah.
So meaning to say, can I say that case that during that time the new interco loan drawdown, that was because of short of time? That's why
Correct. Because of timing, yeah.
But
okay,
then since then we have been continuing to roll over, and there was no plan to. I mean, just asking, was there any plan to like settle the interco loan first and then just go with the bank?
I don't think there's such a pressure based on my understanding. Because no matter it's like a one pocket to another pocket to the eye of ALP, right? But always check with Abigail if she has any concern. So far, she hasn't commented anything about it. Her concern is more with the bank actually, because with a substantial amount owing to these two banks over the time.
Okay.
Okay. I move on to Indonesia.
Sorry, Abby, Angie, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Angie, sorry, just curious. Philippines, have we do a feasibility study on long-term funding? Because I look at Philippines, it's like forever they are having cash flow issue. So
no, I think when it comes to financing, right, it is always look at the requirement first. So what's the underlying? Whether it is
I mean, if it's a short-term working capital, I understand, right? So is it really a short-term working capital?
I'm not sure. That's why, but it's not under my purview now. On all these things, you see. First of all, for example, when you mention Philippines, actually they're short on cash It's due to what?
Mm.
Because of what? And what's the issue? What's concern? Is it because of the working capital cycle?
Mm.
Even if this is the case, right? There's no point to look at long-term loan because long-term loan is actually support. Is to
No,
support.
that's why I asked, is there a feasibility study? Okay. Is there,
No, not from our end. No.
okay.
Okay. So let me move on to Indonesia. Indonesia actually, okay, first of all, because we haven't done the KT for cash management that day for Indonesia, but it's okay. I go with this session first based on the activities coverage for Indonesia. What is the process first? Okay. So for for Indonesia, where this are BNP and Citibank for loan facility. Loan documents under this link, outstanding loans actually with this folder as well. Is a bit slow, right? So as at now, or even 31st December, we Alindo has this facility outstanding 85 billion IDR with Citibank. Okay, all right, nothing outstanding with BNP. We have cleared that up already. So how we decide again, it's always short of funding or not, right? So when you notice it's short of funding, we will I will start actually communicated with Christine quite often, right? Actually, even there's no loan due or whatever, the normal funding actually we discuss as well. Why? Because let me go back to this cash management a bit. There's this requirement for this Alindo, Alitech. Alitech actually, I think don't have to worry so much about Alitech because the amount is quite small. You see, this one will be covered tomorrow. This one actually because we have quite a number of payment requirement. Some is actually direct debit, some is actually tax payment, FX settlement, of which I think you guys have all this timing as overview. So Alindo, or I would say Indonesia, actually they have cash, but the most challenged one is actually the timing. The timing, right? And in Indonesia, because they have also some restriction, for example, FX settlement, you have to ensure that cash is available in the bank accounts. Otherwise, FX settlement cannot be made. So this is overall, but I will go detail tomorrow for the cash management. So going back to this loans one, BNP, I've attached this email. Again, it's very similar to other FAs as well, that when you want to draw down, you will have to write to this BNP team and Citibank's team. Citibank's actually we deal with RM. I put in this email for you guys already. So first, BNP. Okay, I've put in this process, I email to BNP. So this is the first one. Follow through the team email address, Citi Christine for sure. And then you also email to Citibank. Citibank is actually the RM. This one. Sorry, I think this email is collapsed. So actually, this guy, Dennis, is the one who we have been dealing with. Okay. So for example, we decided to go for Citibank for drawdown or rollover or repayment or whatsoever. So you will have to confirm to the bank here. Okay. For this in Indonesia, DocuSign is not allowed at all. So I put a note here for Citibank's folder. DocuSign is not allowed. So this is a process that we put here. So these are the keynotes that where ink, signature, and original signed document has to be sent to the bank, Citibank. before the drawdown date or rollover date. So I put down the name as well. So this is the address that we have been getting. After the bank sign, you have to scan a copy to the bank first, followed through by the original signed copy to this address. But of course, again, this kind of address, maybe bank will change later on, so always confirm with the bank at all time. For new drawdown, okay, for new loan drawdown or Citibank first, actually they will not remit these funds directly from the bank to our recipient bank, BNP. We need to arrange, like us to raise a ticket to transfer the funds from Citibank to BNP, for example, if you want to settle the loan in BNP. Okay, clear this one? Because it's very important. Even you draw down already, if you don't arrange a fund transfer, then there's no point. So Citibank is like this, they will not remit the funds directly from the loan department, by the loan department direct to our BNP. After all done, then you have to update here. Okay. So this is Citibank. Go back to BNP. So internal arrangement, again, BNP here. Again, DocuSign is not allowed. However, BNP that accept this scan signed documents without the need to send the original to the bank. We arranged something, some arrangement really that the bank allow us to do so. So email, you can just prepare the form and then email. All this actually prepared by us for Indonesia, Citibank, BNP as well. For new drawdown, BNP will manage the funds directly from the bank to Citibank without us doing anything. Not like Citibank's arrangement that I showcased to you just now. This is more convenient, of course, right? But we try to push Citibank last time to remit directly from their bank to our recipient, but then they say they cannot because different bank, different process. Okay. So I think I put this rough processes here as an overall general one. Again, I put in the sample of email that how you manage for the loan documents for signing internally here to Christine and Sasha. Sasha is the one of the advisor. So they will just sign this one. I mean, get it signed, then email back to us, then we email back to BNP. That's it. So you see, this email is actually sample email from us to the bank. All this here. The bank email contact, you just go through this email because it's quite still latest one for now. Loan documents I have attached here. Style one also I will put here as well, soft copy. And hold on, a bit slow. And then I'll get this link, Citibank. So all are here for the sign one as well. Soft copy and the sign one all here. The Philippines one I'll give attach a signed copy. Whenever you prepare the letter from our end, or your what we did is actually once we prepare this soft copy, we will get the bank to check because for Indonesia, there's although we are Malaysian, right? But there are Bahasa Indonesia, there's slight difference when it comes to these numbers in words. So always get them to check first to go through before you proceed with the signing. So this for Citibank. Same goes with BNP. You can always prepare already, then you get the bank to check and come back to you. Yeah, that's all for the what we call that the loans requirement for Indonesia. Any questions? Any questions from the team?
No, Angie.
Okay, sure.
Nice to meet you. So, first of all, how about the limit? Any about the
Limit, let's cover the same questions for other athletes as well. I'll give,
so you
limit
will
for sure there's a,
also you will give together with others.
yeah, I think
regarding
it's
the
an
limit.
overall, yeah.
Okay, overall, okay. So just now you share the loan document that one for the rollover. So everything must be by
Draw down
the.
also, draw down also, roll over, draw down, everything here. You see, draw
So we
down.
need to prepare. I mean that you copy from the previous file, then you put
Yes.
everything that's needed.
Of course,
and then-
of course. Yeah,
Okay.
of course. Yeah. You just go with the name,
Okay.
because I remember I put draw down or roll over easily marked here so that you can see here. But again, you see now it's already 2026, right? Always get the bank to check because probably their format is different really. I'm not sure.
So,
But this
bank to check first before we send for sign. That's the.
correct. Yes.
Okay.
Because sometimes all these loan documents is a bit sensitive. That they are even one words is different really. What we put in, then they will have to have the letter sign again.
Okay.
Okay, when this cash management for Indonesia will be covered tomorrow.
Okay.
But again, it depends on short wise how much. Always go to Christine to discuss before any drawdown, rollover, or drawdown or rollover or repayment as well.
Yeah, I understand. Country, right? Some of the head of finance would like to have a pre-discussion before anything is done. Some will empower you to just proceed. We will align with them respectively. See how we.
But I would say that actually generally they prefer they are in the loop first before our discussion, or it's up to them first because they are also the signer as well. I say. Otherwise,
Definitely. So I mean, end of the day, it's going to impact their books and their accounts and all. So it's more of just for their review.
correct. And your proposal, why and why? Usually they would like to know why.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we have covered the three countries. Malaysia next. Okay, for Malaysia, because I think cash management, we still have to touch a bit tomorrow for the remaining kind of things that we supposed to cover. But we do the short-term one first, short-term facility. Okay, for Malaysia, it is always LM and SIG, right? Okay, I need to be aligned. I need to align with you, Kevin. For LBS, so far we do not touch anything so far, yeah. Kevin?
Sorry, what? Yep.
For Malaysia here, we only talk about LM and SIG here.
Yep.
Okay? LBS, we have not touched anything. Okay.
Means?
We do not manage any drawdown for LBS. So far, LBS only have this OD facility, I think, for this loans or whatever. You see, when they need the
So for the loan drawdown, Angie, you want to clarify is Malaysia only cover two entities, which is
Correct.
LM and SIG.
correct. My KT here only did that LM and SIG only.
So
Yeah.
for ALBS, it's out of your scope.
No, we did not do anything during our time. That's why
Oh,
we
okay.
say.
So we rely on the OD facility, yeah.
So far, I think Victoria, your side actually have started using this OD already, right? For LBS. Okay. So for Malaysia, LM and SIG, they have these two banks. Mainly LM is a drawdown when it comes to drawdown. LM, not SIG. Citibank also they have this facility as well. But it is very rare that we draw down from Citibank. But I've attached an email copy here for your reference. BNP also put what we call it, this rollover loan deal now. Who's the Andy is the guy that you have to liaise with him for loans related. Okay. Okay, again, before you proceed with the bank, usually what we do is we email to Hikita-san. I think Ashraf and Pay was in the loop in the last one. What's the proposal from us? Because you are the one who know the position whatsoever, right? So we actually drop an email to Hikita-san first. Usually he will say okay or not okay, you know, that kind of thing. Again, it's same methodology with the other affiliates as well. And again, he's one of the authorizer, so it's very important to keep it in the loop. So once he's okay, then we proceed with the necessary arrangement for the documents. I put an important note here. Okay, signing arrangement is very important. BNP, it can be via DocuSign. Citibank is not allowed for DocuSign, but which has to be writing. However, the last communication that we have with Citibank is actually they say they can accept the scanned signed copy first, followed by the original signed document sent to them. But this part I never done before because our time is actually only once last year that we did the drawdown. That's based on the original signed documents. Until they receive them, only they can proceed. But now they've come down this process for us. So this is for your reference for future. Always liaise with the RMGC role. Kevin, I think you know her. So we have this sample of email. Loan documents we have attached here for the link. These two banks are documents is actually prepared by us. So you have all this here. Sign on. I put this a new drawdown, roll over, whatever, for your easy reference in future. So we actually use by the previous letter format to do the necessary. Okay. Outstanding loan checklist. I'm sure your team has it. And also do for your, it's used for your interest accrual, things like that. We put here. So actually, there's no longer outstanding so far as at now. Actually, okay. I think this is pretty straightforward for loan process for Malaysia. And usually, during my email to Hikita-san, the last one, once it's okay, I will keep Bertrand in the loop as well as a heads up that this is for loan documents will be coming up for his DocuSign, things like that. All this, I think I leave it to you guys how to manage it. But usually we give a heads up to the authorizer. Yeah, I put the links here as well. So this is for Malaysia. Any questions?
Angie, just a question. I mean, do we have for Citibank, I know we don't have any loan with them anymore, but do we have like their SSI on when the repayment, which account we should transfer? Not just for Malaysia as well. I think Philippine MUFG as well, we might also need the information. Do you have that?
Sorry, SSI?
I mean, sorry, the Nostro account, I mean.
Nostro account is under the topic of FX, right?
Sorry, I mean what is the settlement account that which account we should transfer when doing the loan?
Oh, okay. You are referring to the settlement account, is it? Okay, for BNP. Okay, BNP actually, it is their current account. Okay, current account. When you look at these documents, right, you will see the account which account to be debited from. You will see that Citibank's account, Citibank's loan actually is from their Nostro account. not from us, because LM does not have any bank accounts with Citibank.
Yep.
This one I'll copy the email to you guys, and the documents, the soft copy actually is there as well. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so this is for Malaysia. The last one is for Vietnam. We have,
NG,
Yeah.
NG. SIG, how about SIG? Any loan drawdown?
no, SIG, no. It is always LM.
Facility?
Sorry.
Do they have a facility, SIG?
No, it can share the line of LM for bank guarantee.
Do SIG have a loan drawdown facility?
No, user is using LM facility.
Ah, okay.
But so far it doesn't draw down because it's covered under the cash pool. The funding source is always from the cash pool internally here. This one will be covered tomorrow. But I'm sharing with you, doing the KT is actually the external loans mainly drawdown or rollover or repayment from Air Liquide Malaysia. Okay, and the facility limit always is also used for bank guarantee, all these other products as well. Okay.
How about intercompany loan between ALM and SIG?
No, not under us, because I think it's covered under the cash pool already. Cash pool interest, I think you guys have that, right? Cash pool outstanding or whatever. The one is considered as interco, no? But it's under the methodology of cash pool.
Okay.
Unless Philippines, for example, there are this cash pool that can be done. I'm not sure in Philippines. That is different, but the concept is the same. It just that it's the way of doing it.
Okay. So, do you aware that there is a loan between ALM and SIG
In the code, the under the cash,
outside cash pool?
no, not that I'm aware of.
Okay, all right. So means that there is no, you've not been involved in any discussion on the repayment between SIG to LM.
No.
Okay.
Again, all these short-term loan facility is meant for working capital. For capex, helping all those, I think is as you guys know that there's a drawdown in last 2 years. Sorry, two transactions in last year. So that one is different process, yeah. This one will be done later for KT.
No worries. Angie, we have another session with Jesse on that, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this apart. No, I just want to differentiate the thing.
Sure.
So this one is last one is Vietnam. Okay. Vietnam. How should I start? Okay.
Just loan, right?
Sorry.
Just loan, the Vietnam.
Yeah, loans, yeah. So okay. First of all, outstanding loans. You guys are very familiar with the file. It's the same file. Again, the concept is when there's a shortfall. Okay, first of all, in Vietnam, it is a very restricted company, right? Country. So it's actually they have this loan procedure that they need to have, like say, bank authorization, all these things has to be in place. So first of all, this is an internal file that we have been monitoring, using it for maintenance. The short-term loan, this is the previous one from Derek. But again, I think the overall we will come back to you guys as the latest one later, same as other affiliates. So drawdown, when there's a drawdown, how we do for Vietnam is actually because Vietnam is not like other affiliates. We draw down is without any invoices. In Vietnam, we must be supported with invoices. So again, it's touching a bit like the cash management. Usually what we have aligned with Lean this one will be covered tomorrow, but since I've go through this topic, right? When we need to draw down is actually we need to, first of all, we have to maintain at least 50 or 60 billion in the cash in the current account, because Vietnam is very difficult. When we need to draw down, we must have invoices, and the invoices cannot be paid invoices. That means that you have to use a fresh, I call it as fresh invoice, to use for drawdown, then remit to the vendor, something like that. Yeah, Kevin.
Angie, the drawdown is specifically short term, so it would be for invoices that have not been paid, right?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. So are there scenarios where we are submitting invoices that have already been paid?
No, not in allocate here. I'm sharing with you because some of the FSCD working capital, not in allocate. Actually, it has to be very, very clear that it has to be used of invoice, the clean invoice, the new invoices for drawdown. Okay. In case that you have the mind that some actually can be used with the paid invoices. You can ignore this statement because for Vietnam, actually only the fresh invoices. Okay. So how we manage is that, first of all, bank balance, we have to ensure always got 50 billion in it. But when it comes to drawdown, it is very depending on Halia side, AP team. Okay. When there's a bulk payment, huge one, of which again, we decide ourselves that, oh, we need to draw down because my current bank balance is probably like 70 billion only now. Okay. So we feel that it's very tight. And of course, if you have I'm sure you guys have an overview of collection for Vietnam better than us, right? With the cash flow forecast or whatever. So if you think that, oh, you have a collection coming in this week, you don't have to draw down, then it's fine. The scenario that I'm putting here is actually, we are short this week. Probably collection is very low. So what we do is that we decide on our own. We use the bulk payment. Yeah, Kevin.
Angie, sorry, just now you mentioned the 50 billion bank balance.
Yeah,
What's the criteria on that?
Why is it? Why this one is this amount is actually already agreed with Lin. For information, again, it's going back to cash management. There's some electricity billing every month. There is very often one of which they do not go through us for any information or notification because the lead time for the settlement is very short. We have to reserve some funds for those we call it as urgent payment.
Oh, so this is more of a target balance at all times.
Target balance, yeah, target balance.
Okay.
And balance.
Okay. Because I was wondering what is that about. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So when we think that we need to draw down, we have to rely on AP bulk payment invoices. Document. The invoice for our filter for our drawdown process. Okay. So what we do, okay, first of all, now, as general, ALV has two banking facilities with these two banks only. And actually, there's no longer BNP and SMBC. Okay. So for BNP, I go for the heavy one first. Vietnam is a bit restricted. For drawdown, what we do is, first of all, this is the one from Halia. Halia sent us the AP, inform us how much we need. So what we do is that there are a few processes here. For BNP, we check how much is the requirement, then we draw down. So we will have to pull out the okay, let me show you this one. It's a bit. I need to go to the loan drawdown form. Okay, I take this example, the one that we did in August. Yeah. Okay, first of all, Halia was, there was an email from EAP payment, right? So she shared with us the checklist. There's always a checklist from her for the invoices that when she needs to which invoices she needs to pay. So we have a look at the invoice, then we copy paste. This folder actually is very important as a sample for future drawdown, because usually I will just copy out this one and then put in the necessary checklist for here. Okay, first of all, BNP, the loan in Vietnam is very different from other countries. Why? Because it is very restricted. Under the facility, even short-term facility, there are few type of facility sub-product. They call it as invoice financing, working capital purpose. All these are actually under short-term. Of course, there's this also one is called CapEx. I don't put here because this is my note for drawdown. CapEx is actually they can do for CapEx as well, not like other countries. This one they allow to do so. So when it comes to this Halia checklist, she will have this payment purpose. So payment purpose, you can see all these items are what is it for LPG, liquid, fuel, wafer, all these things. CapEx means CapEx. So you guys have to see how to differentiate which invoice is actually which invoice financing, which product type. So here, so happened for this 7th of August, actually there's this one, checklist. I'm not sure why it is one. Okay, you see the description here, all electricity, transportation, freight charges, all this has been the case of working capital. Okay, so some invoice that higher sense it can be like for CapEx, it can be for invoice financing. So this one will be depending on what kind of invoice of which you have to split over. So happened on the 7th of August, I have this all these invoices I have filtered out. You have to follow through this header, right? Of which the bank really did. Usually I don't do foreign currency invoices because it's quite complicated one. Why? Some of the foreign currency payments for Vietnam actually usually is in the company, and the invoices usually is very old already. For loan drawdown, it has to be 90 days from the date of this invoice. It cannot exceed more than that. Clear? So when I need to draw down, you do not have to like say AP team say today I have tomorrow I have 25 billion payment to be out. Then when I look at this, I want to draw down, you can draw up to 20 billion also can. Okay. So this is a sample that I want to showcase to you that copy paste the information right here. So happen I have how much? Quite a lot. I have this 14.6 million billion amount in the checklist, right? So what I do, I filter, this is a filter information already. However, you have to highlight the top 15 highest invoices with the amount for us to pull out, extract the supporting to the bank as part of the process. Usually I will tag Halia to provide this supporting. Okay. So I think when I showcase here, these are two important notes that, internal arrangement, AP send out the email for bulk payment before this one. You have to ensure that AP send out this kind of email, of which is current practice, 2 working days before our payment date. Otherwise, the loan drawdown process will not have sufficient time. Okay. And just now when I filter the checklist ready, we have to email to BNP for checking the draft loan documents 1 working day before the loan drawdown. Okay. So after I filter this one, the checklist ready, I will prepare this drawdown notice. Okay. I put in this yellow items because it's easier for everyone in future as well, that what you need to touch when it comes to this preparation of letter. Date, all this, you see, just now the check is 14.6 billion. I don't draw down like very close exactly. Otherwise, give you a headache, a hassle that, you don't have to be, because your bank account still have some X amount. So 40 billion here, this one you have to always use Google Translate as a tool to help you to translate into words. Okay, this one drawdown date. Yeah, this is a drawdown date, but for short term, it is always up to 1 year. But the actual final due is actually 1 year. That's why you can see 2025, 2026 here. So this is the English version. It's the same thing. And that's it. The rest you don't have to touch because this is the template that I have to put in here for loan drawdown notice. We always get Lin and this person to sign as a wet ink signer. Just for information, Eric Mokhtar, he has moved to Ho Chi Minh already, so they are not in the same office. Last time, Eric was the one who signed together with Lin, as per the bank mandate. Okay, so go back to here. So this is the supporting documents that we have gotten from Halia. After I tag her, this one, she knows what to do actually. Okay, all this actually we will have to email to the bank for what we call it, for them to check the documentation. Usually they will check because especially all these supporting documents are really checked one by one because they are very restricted. Hold on. I think I have yet to attach the email as a sample. I'll attach here as the email for future reference on who you need to email to for BNP team. Okay, so this one I'll download and then attach here. And so this is for the forms of drawdown for BNP. But just to let you know that in Vietnam, the loan can be, it works this way. It's a bit different from other countries. How to say? Once you have drawdown already, you have to capture into this loan folder. Sorry. Okay, the one that we did on the 7th of August, right? Okay, once it's drawn down, everything is fine. You sign and then you submit to the bank, even to them. The affiliates actually they will send the original to the bank accordingly after that. Let me show you how to update this one because it's very important. The bank actually, there will 40 million, you see here. So the bank will give you the rate, what rate. So the interest period, they will have to reset. I'm sorry, they have to have, you can have an option for 1, 2, and 3 months here. But usually we go for 3 months because the rate at the point in time, 3 months is always the same. Okay. So assuming today is the 7th of August, everything is good. So we will have this file updated. Okay, when update, you have to ensure follow the formula. Now it's really expired. It's because it's really past time. 7th of August 2025, 7th of August 2026. It is maximum due date. Okay, but if you notice, it's a bit different from like loans in Malaysia or other countries. We have a due date, but we will not have like a 1 year kind of update, this kind of mechanism. Vietnam is like this. So when you confirm the rate is actually for 3 months. So when you update in this file, you have to update for 3 months as per their information. And when it comes to this date, 7th of November, they will send an email to LEP team to confirm again, what is your reset of interest. It's kind of like a rollover of interest period, you know. Although you know that the final due date actually can be up to 7th of August 2026. Okay, let me showcase to you when it comes to 7th of November, what happened. So what happened the day? Actually, they sent out an email to us to show to ask us, okay, what's the interest rate? What's the reset of interest? So we will have to reconfirm to them. You want to do the time we wanted to do 2 months only. Why? Because 3 months rate has increased a lot already. So we wrote, but of course, all this actually correlated to cash management. If you think that you can prepay, you can pay on this 7th of November. You don't want to continue this loan, you can prepay. We call it as prepayment. If not, then you roll, but roll over the interest period, right? We only roll, we confirm to them we just want to do 2 months. So this is how you update it. But here actually it's the same. This is very important because you have to know when is the final maturity date so that you can ensure you prepare the funds for the final settlement if you keep rolling over the interest period. Okay, so this is for the drawdown. I want to also remind, showcase that the type here, different type of loans here. So you see, you can see then over the time, you can see short-term. All these are short-term facility loans. You see, BNP invoice financing. I put this shortcut easy to differentiate. Why differentiate? Because different sub-product, right? They want us to issue different set of documents. Like the one that I showcased to you, prepare the letter. If the invoice is meant for short-term, because short-term, which is for working capital, you have to split. Segregate out different set of documents for drawdown. Okay, so it's very important to differentiate this one because it's both by invoices, right, for your future easy reference. So you see capex. If you have the invoice for capex, bear in mind in Vietnam, the capex invoices can be used for this kind of short-term facility. Okay, same goes to SMPC. It's a bit different from other countries' kind of facility nature. I think go back to the page as I mentioned. You're asking about capex or OPEX. So Vietnam is the case that allows for capex.
So that's why I got that's why I'm curious why like capex in Vietnam is short term instead of like in general that you say that capex it should be long term. So
this is based on the country regulation. In general, even internally here, we know that there's a reason why capex is using the long-term facility. Yeah, this one is because they allowed it. But even this capex, right, invoice can be used. It is very small amount that they're restricted. There's a sub-limit. They will not allow the entire limit to be used for capex. Okay, so this is for BNP facility, but I also want to go to this prepayment. Prepayment is something like what we do, like what I showed just now. For example, the one that we showcase to you. Okay, maybe I show you. For example, this one, latest one. Okay, we have just rolled the day and then it is going to do on the 9th of March 2026 here. But actually the last validity, the last final maturity date is actually 8th of April. But I have cash. We think that, oh, I have cash, I can settle this one. So you can prepay, they call it prepayment. But you will have to prepare these documents called prepayment documents here. So what we do is actually we email to the bank. They want to prepay. Okay. Usually they will send out one email to you to check with you, you want to reset the interest or not. Usually they will ask like this, but you can take initiative to tell them that you want to prepay. So prepay file also, I have this link under here. Or here. And recently we just prepaid 2 loans, I think. This one, prepayment form. Okay, this one. Reason one is actually interest period change. Okay, so this one is prepayment. You can refer to the September's version. I always put the latest file here already. Just follow through what is it. Then you have to, on the same day, you have to get it prepared. When you open the file, I also mark the necessary things that have to be changed for easy reference as well. Okay, all here already. And again, we always get Lynn and Wu to sign. But I think moving forward, they prefer this name they prefer to be put with the chalk, things like that. This one I'll leave it to you guys. Okay, so this is a prepayment. And the other one that I showed you just now is actually like 3 months. We have first reset the interest period, right? But we want to change it to 2 months. That one we also need to prepare letter. It is a very troublesome in Vietnam. Recently, we have changed this period, right? From 3 months to 2 months. So again, you have to prepare this letter. Just follow through the template. Okay. So this is what we have been doing. For these 3, first of all, draw down, invoice type is very important to decide. You have to split over the loan documents. Okay. Number 2, prepayment. That's what I showed you just now. You want to prepay before the final due date, you can do that. Number 3 is an interest period change. Originally, for example, it's 3 months. You want to change it to 2 months. Also need to prepare this letter. BNP. Okay. Any questions so far? For SMBC, it's quite straightforward. Just to give a little bit of background that SMBC, we do not draw so much. Why? Is because it has this, because the interest rate is always higher than BNP. Even now, even they have reduced the pricing or whatever, we always check the all-in rate is how much, right? So that is for SMBC, but we still have to maintain it as a backup bank for LA, because who knows, one day actually BNP, the line maybe not sufficient, I don't know, or maybe something else. So at least they have this SMBC for short-term loan. So over the time, I think just recently only, because recently SMBC pricing all reviewed, got it better, but the final rate is still very expensive. So Lynn is fully aware of all this. So SMBC, what we have been arranging here is we use this this bank, we keep it, but we only draw down once a while. Okay, Of course, bank will come to you lah for drawdown, whatever. But if it is a higher rate, then what to do? I mean, of course, we won't go there. But when it comes to this short term, right, SMBC, we have aligned with AP team and Lin side that electricity billing invoice to be used for drawdown only. Okay, but not for all those the normal one that I showcased to you just now, BNP. Why? Because BNP, SMBC, they require the full set of a checklist invoices for their supporting. Number two, the process is actually very tedious than BNP. But nonetheless, what I wanted to say is that actually the most important is the interest rate is higher than BNP. So again, I have this what we call it, this SMBC folder. I list down what's so-called the sample, the internal arrangement, electricity. This one actually recently only my time after that I only drew one time, which is recently. So this one is a bit okay. There's a group chat between my side, affiliates, and also AP team. And what they do is actually that this file is from affiliates now. They will have this checklist for electricity billing. But I think nonetheless, not to confuse, when you think that you need to SMBC need to have drawdown or whatsoever, always ping Lin for this heads up. She will share with you the necessary file. You see, for example, the one that we did, I think somewhere here. Okay. So they will have this information to be shared with my side at that time. So so what we do is that, you see, sample of this one. This is the end-to-end processor for SMBC. Okay, internal drawdown documents. Okay. So I need to come on. Sorry. Don't know. So SMBC, we also have the similar checklist like what we showcased to you on this BNP one. It was on the 18th of November. This is this drawdown documents that we have here. Okay, checklist here. It is very similar like the one that we have for BNP, but used by this template. So you see, we only have this OPEX. We don't complicate the drawdown with SMBC because their requirement is really, the process is very different. So this is what we put here. And as you can see, it's 7 point something billion here. So the drawdown that time is actually 7 billion. So we prepare this one, the drawdown notice here, and then final, and then supporting as well. You can tag this Halia to provide you the supporting. So SMBC, electricity bill only so far. But for future, if there's any changes, always check with Lina. Okay. But of course, it can be used for other invoices. So this is what we did. We have attached this signed document with SMBC for reference. So SMBC, yeah. So this is the overall drawdown process for this SMBC, but also for this what we call it SMBC for reset of interest, also the same, very similar to BNP. I've attached this sample of email here. important notes, and then the fixed password for opening the encrypted file is also here. Okay. BNP, there's also file for opening the file, the password for opening the file. I've attached there as well. Okay. And then repayment. The one that we did on the 18th of November, we also repaid because we find it is very, just to activate the line, right? So we have attached this repayment letter link and then the email to this relationship manager, and then for them to check, and then to the loans ops team to go through the, so for this formal email to them for this processing. And this is a fund transfer. This is very important. When you want to repay, again, same goes to like Philippines. You will have to ensure the funds is transferred from BNP to SMBC for this settlement. All this we are putting into the folder. Okay. Any questions so far for Vietnam? Sorry, it's already 12:11.
Actually, Angie, I wanted to ask on the BNP 350 billion that loan.
The one actually no longer draw down. It's ready under the installment repayment reading.
I know, but in future, I'm not too sure in future would that such a case or not. So I know that long-term loan is actually meant for some working capital invoices, right? So yeah, actually why that time there was this long-term loan and did all this drawdown. So I mean, in what situation we should use that BNP?
No. Okay. Against the pay. So when it comes to this long-term loan, it is always the CapEx under the LK processor. There's some specific process for getting this long-term loan. So this one will be coming from this corporate finance team, for getting such a long-term loan. I mean, for here, because when we got this KT from Derek, right? The CapEx is really ongoing. So I think based on the internal arrangement, there's a decision that they want to have this long-term loan, because short-term loan actually is very short-term only. You have to ensure it can be rolled, it can be repaid, all these things. CapEx is what? Project, right? Project actually, your cash flow will not be so fast at coming in now. So it is very depending on the internal arrangement. Number two, this kind of terms, right, is actually based on the country basis and the bank basis, right, on how they can offer to the affiliates. So back to your question is, I cannot answer you. It is very depending on the overall, a lot of process internally here when there's a CapEx requirement for funding, You see? But I don't think it's under the case here.
But and just to clarify, back to November, we did one drawdown from SMBC, right? So at that time, what's the factor triggered we did not draw from BNP instead of drawing from SMBC?
As I mentioned just now, SMBC is just like a backup bank.
Backup, okay.
And number two, because the bank has been chasing us for now after the recent review. So what we did, we discussed, we even share with them the sample of invoices for working capital, which is very lengthy. They requested every single of the invoices for that, and Halia will not be able to provide it. BNP only extract the top 15 invoices.
Okay.
So to address the bank concern of course they're looking forward for this drawdown. So what we look at is actually using the electricity billing.
Only
which
for
is very,
electricity.
Yeah.
Okay.
The amount is very big, but it was only 3 invoices, for example.
Okay.
So this has been aligned with Lynn. Always go back to Lynn if she's agreed with this kind of arrangement. So that's why in November, there was one drawdown already. I hope they will not come back again. But nonetheless, now the rate also higher than BNP. So it is more reason to draw down BNP as well.
Okay. Does it answer your question, Chupei?
No, my question actually is meant for BNP. The long-term loan is another one. But anyway, Angie,
No, the one is based on the project at the time is a pay.
And then also the rate we set for the long term for the BNP 350 billion and the repayment is all the same process as the short-term loan, is it?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
Because the long-term loan for the BNP 350 billion, that one also is every quarter that we would there will be a rollover, right? So the process
It's
is
not
also
called,
similar.
it's not called as road, okay, let me show you here. I think there's a repayment schedule for this, 350 billion. Okay, so on a quarterly basis, yes, the interest and the installment is on a quarterly basis. The next one will be, 6th of April.
Yep.
Okay, I've highlighted in this color because it's easy for us to check as well. Okay, and I think this is related to cash a bit, but I want to highlight that, for example, this one, 57 billion incoming loan will be due is in April. So this one have to ensure that the funds are reserved always for this big amount loan due. So this one that I put in blue actually is 350 billion, of which you can see the repayment schedule here. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
Do we have any other to
No.
cover today?
I think we are later than the expected timeline at the time. Probably you guys can digest first lah. If any questions, tomorrow we have another session, right? For cash.
Okay, then we need to say. Okay.
So we continue tomorrow.
So today's objective to go through the loan drawdown already covered. And so you guys can take time to digest. And tomorrow's session will go through the cash management for Vietnam, Malaysia, and Indonesia, and also the Singapore air factoring drawdown. So during the session, if we have enough time to cover, feel free to raise any queries if you have anything related to today's session.
Okay, all right.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.